Hey guys, welcome back. Ooh, I'm blurry. Welcome back to another Math with Max and Rocking. So if you remember from the other video, those of you who were in Miss Rodriguez's class, I am Miss Valdez and your teacher's not there right now, so that is why you're watching this video. So let me get Max over here. Maxie, come here, boy, see this? Come here. Come here. All right, come here. They want to see you, the people. Oh, come here. I barely even touched him, and he screams. Okay, there they are. Say, hey, Rocky. Hi. You say hi to everybody? Can you say hi to everybody? I'm sorry I hurt you, Max. I'm sorry. You tell him I'm sorry for me. Can you help him? He's okay, right? He exaggerates. He exaggerates? He does. Mm-hmm. There you are. Okay. 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 All right, go play over there. Go play. Go over there. Go over there. Y'all don't listen to me. All right. Anyway, so welcome back to another Math with Max. So go ahead and get your journals. No, that's not gonna work. Babe, call them. Go. Okay, thank you. Alrighty, so you should have your journal. Right now I have my third period journal because that's the class that I'm not there for. They also have, or you should have this page right here. If it's probably going to be on my desk, so go and get it. You need a pencil, your journal, scissors, and a glue stick. So what I want to do first, I want to open up to my table of contents. And the last thing we wrote in our table of contents was number 15 division right here. Okay. Oop, y'all can't see that. Can y'all see that now? Yeah, 15 division. So now we're going to move on to number 16, and it's going to say division practice. Okay. So number 16, and this pen has never been used before, so it's got that little, can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Not really. It's a little like ball that's on the end of the pen when you haven't used it yet. Keeps all the ink in, I guess. Okay, so number 16, this is division practice. And this is just, guys, because division can be difficult at first. So we want to make sure that you guys have a clear understanding of what to do. I feel like this is like super blurry. There we go. All right, division practice. So write that down for number 16. And then go ahead and turn to a fresh, clean page and mark number 16 and title it for me, please. I'm going to do that right now also. And remember that at any time you can pause the video and go back if you get confused. You don't have to keep going and feel like you have to be where I'm at. Okay, so if something gets confusing to you, always go back and check your work. Okay, so this is number 16. Division practice. Okay, so my page should look like that, and so should yours. Okay, let me make those dots on top of my eye. I always feel like my dots on top of my eyes are really teeny tiny, and then you can't see it, so that should be like that. Okay, so write that down. Next thing we want to do, we want to go ahead and cut out this big box right here with all the equations in it. Go ahead, I'm just trimming around it. And did you guys notice that I've decorated my house for Halloween? Halloween is my favorite holiday. Some people don't consider it a holiday. Some people don't celebrate it, and that's perfectly fine. However, in my house, we most definitely celebrate it. We have a party every year. My husband and I love to get dressed up in costumes. That's like one of our favorite things to do. I go to the store all the time, and I'm buying fun stuff like this for my house. And I know you can't see it, but over there I have like cobwebs everywhere and skeletons and like all kinds of fun stuff. And I like to decorate my yard, and I put skeletons in the front yard, and it's just my favorite. I think I love it out of all the holidays the most. I love Christmas a lot, but I think Halloween might be my favorite. So anyway, okay, so this is what I have cut out, and I'm simply going to use my glue stick and I'm going to glue it right there, nice and beautiful. And I have to use that same stinky glue stick that my husband brought me last week from one of his students. Remember I told you that one of his students let him borrow a glue stick, and I had the same one, but I don't like this glue for some reason. This Elmer's glue stick, one of these, I don't know. I'm just not loving it. Wish this thing would focus. Why is it not focusing? Anyway, but I don't love it because that makes it feel like the paper is like sliding around. I don't like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna put some glue on the back. On the back. On the back. If you're using liquid glue, excuse me. If you're using liquid glue, please don't smother it in glue because we are going to be writing on this, and I don't want you to be making a ton of mistakes or punching through the paper and then it gets all yucky. And okay, so my paper looks like that, and so should yours. Now, what I'm going to do so that you can see it better, I'm going to write number 1. My number 1, I'm going to write on a separate sheet of paper. You do not need to do this. The reason I'm doing it is because this is too small for me to keep going, and then writing something and then going, and showing you. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to write my equation number 1, 322 divided by 16. I'm going to write that on another sheet of paper. Divided by 16. Just like that. Okay, so again, you do not have to do this step. This is simply for me so that when I do this, I'm not showing you a teeny tiny little baby journal over here. Okay, I'm going to do 3 equations with you, and then the rest 3 will be on your own. Okay, so our first step when we're dividing is after we've already set up our equation. This is our equation, 322 divided by 16. This guy is our dividend, and this guy is our divisor. We do need to know the difference between which one. Divisor, he's trying to get inside the house, and your dividend, he's inside the house already. Okay, he's nice and cozy, and this guy, he's cold outside. He's trying to get inside. So after we set it up, our second step, step 2, can you see that? Step 2 is to do our multiples, and we want to do our multiples of our divisor, which is 16. Now, that's a big number. Sometimes some of us don't even know our multiples past 12, or some of us are still struggling with our multiples to get to 12, and that's okay. So, some of you already know how to do it like this. Let me show you right now, where you write 16 times 1, 16, and then you keep going, and you do 16 times 2. So, for me, even I have to think about a second for that, okay? So, what I always do is I go here. I start with my ones place numbers, which would be my 2 and my 6. And I think to myself, okay, 2 times 6 is 12. So I'm going to put a 2 down because I know that if this was like straight up and down, I know that I would have to carry over a 1 over here. Then I think to myself, okay, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 more. That's got to be 3. Okay, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go all the way to my 6s, okay? I never go past my 6 to begin, and the reason I do that is because you don't always need to go all the way to your 12s. It's not always necessary. So I always go, anytime I'm multiplying my divisor, I stop at 6. That's a good stopping point. Halfway between 0 and 12 is 6. So that's why I want to stop there. So I'm going to do 16 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry over the 1, 3 and 1, that's 48. Okay, that's what I have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and finish those off all the way to 6. I'm going to do 16 times 4. 4 times 3 is, no, sorry, 6 times 4 is 24. 6, 12, 18, 24. Yeah, 6, 12, 18, 24. See, even I have to think sometimes, like, I'm like, ooh, I think my brain is playing tricks on me, right? So I have to double check. 6, 12, 18, 24. 4, 5, 6, that's 64. So 16 times 4 is 64. And then 16 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. I'm going to carry over a 3. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 more is 80. Okay. And then I'm going to do 16 times 6 because that's my stopping point. So right here, I need to think to myself, what's 6 times 6? I know that's 36. So right now I have a 6 down. And then if it's 6 times 1, that's 6 plus the 3 more that I know you can't see it, but we're pretending because 6 times 6 was 36. So I'm carrying over a 3 right here. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. So we have 96. So right now I have all my multiples of 16. 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, and then 96. So that's what I'm going to use when I am doing my division. So it is important to know how to multiply when you are dividing, guys. Multiplication is going to become going to play a huge part in you passing the school year. So like I've told my classes before, if you don't know how to multiply, you need to get on it. Like that is something that you should have known coming in to 5th grade. Okay? So first thing I need to think to myself, does 16 fit into 3? No, it doesn't, because 16 is greater than 3. Remember, we put our hand over here and we had to ask ourselves, we're only focusing on the 3 right now. So does 16 fit into 3? No. So I want to put a 0 on top. 16 is greater than 3. If my divisor is greater than my dividend, I am not allowed to put it in. Okay? So now I need to think, now I'm working with 32, and I have to say to myself, okay, does 16 fit into 32? Well, I look at my multiples and I want to get as close to 32 as possible. Well, it turns out that one of them actually does equal 32, and that is 16 times 2. So that means I'm going to use the 2 over here. And I forgot to put my little multiplication sign right there. But again, I'm working with 16 times 32. So 16 times 2 equals 32. Okay? So again, 16 times 2 equals 32. So now I'm ready to subtract, minus 32. Okay? And I'm sorry, I totally forgot to go over the does McDonald's serve burgers. Divide, multiply, subtract, and then bring down. So we're already in the subtraction part here. So 32 minus 32 equals 0, right? If I have 32 and I take away 32, that leaves me with 0. Okay? And then my my next step is to bring down the 2 here. Okay? And here I'm going to ask myself, does I'm getting myself confused here. Okay, sorry. I have to ask myself, does 16 fit into 2? The answer is no. So what I would put here is a 0. Okay? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm going to pause it right here. Okay, sorry, I had to take a little mental break because I wasn't feeling good for a second. Sorry, so, and the problem started to get confusing to me for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so, back where we were. 16 does not fit into 2, and the reason, that's why I put that 0 there. So that is something we have not come across before. That's something new to us. So, when you have a number down here, and this number does not fit into it, you have to put that 0 above that 2, because that's showing me that that 16 was not fitting into that 2. Okay, so now I'm still going to multiply 16 times 0. What is 16 times 0? 16 times 0 is, anything times 0 is still 0. So right here, I'm going to start taking away 0. Okay, so right now, on your paper, and you're doing this in the journal, remember, so yours should look like this right now. So again, that was 16 times 0 equals 0. So right now I have 2 minus 0, and that should leave me with still, if I have 2 when I take away 0, I still have 2 left over. Okay, so that's what it should look like right now. Now, 16 cannot fit into 2, so that is why we're going to have 20, remainder 2. So just like that. Okay, so my final answer is 20, remainder 2. Now guys, we're gonna work on more of that. I know that one was, I'm really glad that one came up actually, because that's one that can be very confusing. And a lot of times they're gonna do that to you on the test. And you're gonna be like, oh, what do I put the 0? It doesn't fit in. What do I do? What do I do? So that's exactly what you're gonna have to do. Sometimes they're gonna throw in, they're gonna try and trick you like that. So we gotta be careful. So like I said, I'm really glad we just did that one together. If you're confused, it's okay. We're gonna practice more. Let's keep the ball rolling, right? All right, next one we're gonna do is let's do number 5. We're gonna do 1, 5, and then 3, and then the other 2 will be on your own, okay? So you should already have your answer, I'm sorry, your quotient, because your quotient is your answer for division. So you should already have your quotient for number 1. Now we're going to do number 5. And number 5 is 5,321 divided by 23. Okay, so this is number 5 right now. 5,321 divided by 23. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get my multiplication. I'm just going to keep on with the same page if you guys don't mind. And again, I want to do my multiples of 23. Again, it's okay if you have to stop and think for a little bit. I don't want to go past 6 again, because on this one, I didn't even have to go past 2. So really, all this was extra. Imagine if I had gone all the way to 12. I really, really, really would have wasted my time, right? So I'm going to do 23 now. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm not getting my coffee table dirty. So I'm going to do 23 times 1, and obviously that is 23. Okay? Next, I'm going to do 23 times 2. Okay, so that's what I have right now. And I have to think to myself, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, and then 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 46. Okay, I'm going to keep it moving. 23 times 3. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. And then 3 times 2 is 6. Again, remember, you can pause this video at any time. If you need to go back, it's all right. Okay. The next one is 4 times 3. That's going to be 12. So I'm just going to put the 2 down, and I'm going to pretend like I'm carrying over the 1. I got to remember that. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. Okay. 23 times 5. So 5 times 3 is 15. Remember, we're pretending to carry over the 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. And 1 more, 23 times 6. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. Pretending to carry over that 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. Okay, so right now I have all the way to 138. So 18, 12, 13, yeah, that'll work. All right, so going back to my equation here. And I have to ask myself, does 23 fit into 5? No, ma'am. So I got to put a 0 right on top of my 5 right there. Okay. Now I'm opening up the door a little bit. I'm checking to see, okay, I got to think about 23 into 53. So I look at my multiples. 23 into 53, the closest it looks like I'm going to get, again, is the times 2 there, right? So on top of this 3, I want to put a 2. Okay. So now I already did the multiplication, or I need to work on my multiplication part here. 23 times 2 was 46. So I'm taking away 46 from the 53. Just like that. This is mental math, guys. 46 and 53 are too close of numbers together. I can totally imagine, like, oh, okay, you have to borrow if it was like a big number. Like if it was 119 minus 54, that's pretty big. That's a big difference between those two numbers. But 46 to 53, if you have to borrow or anything like that to figure out this answer, why would you do that? You have your fingers. Okay, 46. We started at 46, so 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Count up. So from 46 to 53, it is 7. Just like that. Okay. Mental math people, it's okay to use it. So my next step, I want to bring down that 2. Okay. And I need to think to myself, how many times is 23 going to fit into 72? So if I look at my multiplications, I think the closest we're going to get is 23 times 3, which is 69. Okay. So, again, that was a, what's it? Hello, lady, wake up. Okay, that was a 3. And since I brought down that 2, I want to make sure I put my 3 on top of that 2. So 23 times 3 was 69. So I'm going to take away 69 from the 72. Again, those numbers are too close together. I do not want to see you borrowing here. 69 start at 69, and then you count up from there. 70, 71, 72, 3 people. And even then, even that really shouldn't take your fingers. Okay, excuse me. And then my last step here, well, sorry, I keep saying last step, but it's not the last, second to last step. Bring down that 1. Okay. and I have to ask myself how many times does 23 fit into 31. And if I look at my multiples, it seems like the closest I'm going to get is 23, which is 23 times 1. Put my 1 on top of the other one, just like that. Again, whatever number you brought down, you need to put the multiplication on top of that one. So right now I have 23 times 1. I brought it down. 23 is only going to fit into 31 one time. So minus 23. Again, those numbers are too close to each other. 23 and 31, way too close. I know that from 23 to 30, it's 7, plus 1 more would be 8. Okay? And I know for sure that I'm done here because well, first of all, I have no more numbers to bring down. And also because 23 is greater than my remainder. That's a big clue to tell you that you're done. If once your divisor is bigger than your remainder, you know for sure that's going to be your remainder. So we have 231, remainder 8. Just like that. Okay? So that's your quotient for number 5. Let's do uno más together. Uno más. Miss Valdez, uno más. And we're going to do, let's do an easy one because you guys are getting the hang of it, so you're good to go. We're going to do number 3. We're going to do 765 divided by 15. And again, I'm going to do my multiples on this one, and I'm going to set it up. I'm going to switch it up to a blue marker because I'm cool like that. Okay, so we have 765 divided by 15, and just like that. Okay, so I'm going to do my multiples of 15. I'm going to do them right here. 15s are easy because 5s are easy, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you know that all your multiples either going to end in a 0 or a 5. If you don't end in a 0 or a 5 for 15, you know you did something wrong. Okay? And that works for any multiple of 5. So right now we have 15 times 1, and we know that one is 15. Easy peasy. 15 times 2, that should be 30. I'm just going to keep going. 15 times, I'm already going into 25 minutes here. 15 times 3 is 45. 15 times 4 is 60. 15 times 5 is 75. And then 15 times 6 is 90. Yeah. So that's what you should have so far. Again, if you want to write that down and you're slower than I am, or you don't know your multiples of 15, make sure you pause the video and write those down. Okay. So we're going to speed through this one. Not speed through it, but this one should move along a little bit faster, don't you think? All right. So now I have to ask myself, does 15 fit into 7? And the answer is a big fat no, because 15 is greater than 7. So I want to put a 0 on top. So that's what I should have so far. Okay. Now I'm working with 15 and 76, and I have to ask myself, does 15 fit into 76? Well, yes, it does. How many times? The closest I'm going to get, it looks like, is 15 times 5, which is 75. So on top of that 6, I'm putting my 5. And 15 times 5 is 75. Ooh, I like the way this one's going to end. Okay, 76 minus 75. Come on, hello. That's just a 1, right? And then, of course, I want to bring down my 5. And easy peasy there, people, right? 15 fits into 15 a whole 1 time. So that's what I should have. 15 times 1 is 15. So I'm taking away 15. And 15 minus 15 is 0. So no remainder. I like that. I like no remainders. And into this week, you guys are going to know what to do if you do have a remainder. So things are going to change. That's where 5th grade starts to change a little bit when it comes to division. We're going to start doing decimals and annex zeros and all that stuff. So this is what you should have for number 3. You're responsible for number 4, number 2, and number 6 on your own. If you're one of my students, Valdez, Oviedo, Avalos, you have task cards you need to complete around the room. If you're from Ms. Rodriguez or Ms. Favela, you need to work on your decimal times decimal writing, okay? And that's it for today, guys. Again, if you have questions, you can always ask your substitute. They should be able to help you. Best behavior. If your name is marked down for anything, then it's going to be double marks on your behavior card, because it is just not right to be disrespectful while a sub is there trying to help your teacher. Am I making myself clear? I hope so. Anyway, bye guys. I'm going to make sure that Max and Rocky are fed right now because they are hungry hippos. And from me and my Halloween home, have a great day.